Another week, and the drama continues in San Francisco. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Elite Fantasy Nation Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Dennis. You can follow me, as always, at Fantasy Matt EFN. Joined with my boy, Pat Wendelken. You can follow him at CityStars136. What is up, Pat? Happy fucking Wednesday.
Matt. That's right.
Yeah,
Midweek,
Training Camp
baby.
Wednesday. Training Camp Wednesday. What's up? We've got football in a week from tomorrow. We have the Hall of Fame game. First action with pads and people running around trying to pretend like they're playing a football game or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's coming quick, dude. August is next week. And before you know it, the season's going to be upon us, dude. It's fucking going so fast.
Can't wait, dude. It's what we've been waiting for. This is it. The beginning of the official season, and that's it. Once it's going, it's going. You can't stop it.
Yeah, and I was telling Pat before we jumped on, too, I'm in a Campus of Canton League. For those of you who do not know, so Campus of Canton is basically you draft college players. You keep them all through college. You score it. So I have a college team. A full college team is actually IDP, so it's basically like a crazy roster. I'll show it to you. We talked about doing an episode on it maybe next week. But I think there's like 100 people total that you draft in college. And then you transfer as they go into the NFL, unless you've already traded on a different team. You then transfer that person onto your NFL or your sleeper squad. And we're currently in the college draft right now. And yeah, dude, I'm drafting freshmen, like literally that haven't even stepped onto the college field, the college football team. And I don't know who the fuck these players are, but I'm just Googling shit and drafting freshmen. They're 18-year-old kids. To be on my Campus of Canton League. Second year doing it, so my first year actually drafting during the offseason. So it's interesting, man. It's been an interesting ride. But yeah, that college football starts the last week of August, I think August 27th. So it's usually a week before football or NFL does. So yeah, we're in the thick of it, man. We're definitely, the train's fucking going, bro. Man. The choo-choo's picking up speed, momentum. You know, you've got people that are showing up or not showing up to camp, you know, so we'll talk a little more about that. Pat will kind of take us through the news here in a second. But as you can see, we both have, and we kind of do two fingers, we both have our little Funko Pop guys down at the bottom. Like I said, we've talked to this a couple times. You can actually see them behind Pat, the real ones. So I created them
Matt,
for...
You're creeping on me every
I'm like,
time.
yeah, I'm basically sitting on your head,
there.
man. I'm like looking over your shoulder, making sure you're not fucking anything up. Yeah, so I created them for Pat, and I thought it'd be cool. You know, just to kind of have our own. So his is fantasy, Fantasy Pat, mine's Fantasy Matt, and then it says Elite Fantasy Destination. But yeah, figured we'd include them. The new podcast we're doing, the South Harmon, we're making a thumbnail for that and actually have the two Funko Pops as our characters on that. So figured why not incorporate them on Elite Fantasy Nation. So that's what these weird little things are down at the bottom. So if you want to do your own, by all means, go into Funko Pop and you can create your own weird Funko Pop. I'm a dork like that, man. I mean, we talked a little about this. Like, I know you've got a lot that you collect. I feel like in this space, there's a lot of people that collect Funko Pops. So doesn't feel too dorky, I guess. But between that and, you know, just, you know, what is it? Marvel characters. I'm a big Lego guy. So all these like little kid things that, you know, I'm 48 years old. What? Why did I say 48? 46. I'm 46 years old. I don't know why I said 48.
You're adding some years.
I'm adding some years. I should go backwards. I'm 44. But yeah, I'm a little kid at heart. So yeah, what are you going to do? That's why I play fantasy football. Why not?
Hey, man.
Oh, yeah. Listen, so how you been, dude? Enough of me talking.
Good. Well, you can see the progression of my beard because people are like, dude, it looks like a baby on your podcast. So now weekly, you're going to see the progression of everything as it goes now. They
got to put those comments in the actual podcast feed, by the way. Oh,
yeah, they can do it.
Since we're talking about comments, we've had some great comments. I think 5 from the last feed. So appreciate all the feedback. Hit the like and subscribe down at the bottom. We're at 63. Was it 63 or 64 subscribers
64,
as of?
64, I want to say right now.
64 as of when we're recording on Wednesday, July 24th. Last time we recorded, we were at 52. To my knowledge. So we basically had a 10 to 12. So thank you very much to the 10 or 12 people that have joined and subscribed. Really appreciate it. Helps the algorithm. And again, as we talked about, by the end of this month, which is next Wednesday, we want to be up to 75. So we're all along the way. So if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Because again, we've got massive content that we're going to do in this year. We're going to be adding kind of a different spin to things that other podcast groups don't do. Also, as I mentioned, you know, we've talked about this, you know, last podcast, we're joining South Harmon on a separate episode. We're going to create a whole nother platform called All In and do a weekly podcast there. So hopefully that'll bring more recognition to us here at Elite. But until
bro.
then, yeah, just hit it, pass it on to your friends. You told Pat. Do you want to tell the story about what you told your son about? Do you want to mention that?
Oh, yeah,
about getting subscribers?
Sure, yeah, I don't care.
This is how we gotta hustle. This is how we gotta hustle.
Dude, the incentive was I'll give you $1 per subscription you get for us. Once you hit 50, I'll double you. I'll make you 100, and then I gave him other incentives along the way. So we'll see how we do and see how well he does at the same time.
Now, mind you, this is only for Pat's son. So don't be hitting it up in the comments about like giving us $1 for this. Pat did this on his own. This is not like he just told me. It's already an agreement that he made with his son. So Elite is not a part of that. This is just Pat with his son, and he's doing that. So don't be stop asking us for a little helper. Yeah. So all right, man. Why don't you take us through the news? I've rambled enough.
All right. Yeah, no, it's cool, man. Short and sweet. Thanks for everyone. All my boys have been subscribing. I know who you are. Appreciate it. And I'm still gonna beat you in the leagues that I'm going into with you, so it's okay. So take that
money.
I'll help you, but it's all right. I'll still take your money. All right, go ahead. Michael Gallup retires at age 28. Super shocking. A lot of people weren't expecting it.
Yeah,
goes to Vegas and done.
Yeah, six years in Dallas. Yeah,
that's it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm in a couple of startup drafts right now, and I actually just drafted him earlier this week. Before he retired, obviously. Yeah, he had some decent like wide receiver 2, wide receiver year 3, wide receiver 2 or 3, depending on the year, and probably week. Seasons and games. So I mean, he was a contributor at Dallas. Goes to Las Vegas to try to help to revamp and give them options there. And then Tuesday night, I think they had posted Las Vegas to put him on the basically injured / retired. Kind of like non-exempt or whatever it was. And then this morning, he basically announced his retirement. So, 20 is young. So I don't know if there was a major injury that he had that they just kind of like felt like, it was a game changer, and maybe that was part of it. This is all speculation, by the way. There's nothing that I've read that says anything, but very quick, very sudden.
Solidly out there. So,
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, if you've got him on your Dynasty League, you could drop him. I mean, even in Vegas, I don't know how much with those quarterbacks there. I don't know how much of an impact he was going to be this year, but or if you want to hold off for a couple of weeks and see if anything changes, like who knows, he may come back or they may release him and maybe he goes to a different team. But as of now, he's retired. So that's why if you're in sleeper, you start to see Gallup being dropped by people. That is the reason why.
Yeah, that's it, man. So don't hold him. Let him go. He's done. Next, CeeDee Lamb did not report to camp. Kind of all figured, like
you pay him that money.
He needs his money. Jerry, open your goddamn pockets. Dak needs to get paid. Start doing something right, dude. Let's go.
Jerry Jones has like the shortest fucking pockets I've ever seen of somebody who's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like that shit ain't deep at all. Like he has it all, but he just is like, he reaches in, he's like, oh, I got $1? Like, come on. Does that help?
Yeah,
like,
he's a cheap bastard.
He's a cheap bastard. Fuck him.
So he's out. Amari Cooper gets restructured. His deal is now $20 million guaranteed salary, $5 million raise in earnable incentive. So that's cool, man. Something to keep people happy. And Cleveland, why not, bro? He's a good wide receiver. He deserves it. Why not?
He's been good in Cleveland.
Dude, it's not even a lot of money, so just a little bump for what he's been doing.
And,
so cool.
And again, an ex-Dallas Cowboy as well. Just talked about Gallup, but Cooper spent many years obviously at Dallas, so good to see him getting kind of a little bit of a bump. And obviously, it's been decent with him in Cleveland. So keep it up, man.
Gallup, ex-Cowboy. CD could be ex-Cowboy. Amari.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about CD too. Fucking the trifecta. And at one point, they were all on the same team together.
Yes, they were. And then goodbye. Last but not least, the drama continues with Brandon Aiyuk not reporting as kind of, everyone expected and planned. Shout out to my boy Dan Mack, huge Niner fan. He kind of wants him gone. He doesn't want the drama. Shout out to my other boy James. He's like, we're keeping him, we're signing him. So I don't know. We'll see. It's like TBD, bro. It's just a never-ending saga with them. So like I said, you know our opinions from the last podcast, so you can check that out. We don't have to go through that whole drama again until it actually happens.
Yeah, it sounds like your boys are at ends, man. They're gonna have to put a bet on it of whether or not he stays or goes.
There are a lot of Niner fans I have, bro. Howell's a giant Niner fan too. The list is forever with a lot of Niner fans.
I don't know if I knew that about Howell, actually.
Yeah, huge Niner fan, bro. Monster. Shout out to Hal.
Shout out to Hal. Maybe Hal one day, man. If you get a mic and get a camera, maybe we'll get you on the podcast.
Hell yeah. JoJo's itching to get some Jet news because that's all I hear. I'm tired of Aaron Rodgers. He got fined, by the way, for going to Egypt, just so you know. That's like a little
because news. It was unexcused. It was unexcused. Yeah, so the mini camp. What is the mandatory mini camp? Yeah.
Yeah, so he'd rather go see the pyramids and throw to his wide receivers. But who am I?
I mean, what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, I told you that last year I won Howell's league too, right?
So yes, sir. That's right.
Yeah. So I had to shoot the group chat out text I think yesterday, just asking who's back for this year, and I said the champ's back, so who wants to come get it? So shout out to Ronnie / Howell's league. Used to be Carlos's league. Let's go.
I'll be in there again. I got no choice. Every time I try to get kicked out, they suck me right back in anyway. So
I was trying to think about that. Because you dipped out, but then you stayed in this year, right? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I know
they
Jack
stayed
left.
Because they sucked me in. They I had conference calls and all this craziness going on. I was like, all right, fine, let's stay another league. So whatever, yeah. I'll be in there.
That's right. You just ignored. That's just right. You muted the chat.
I muted the chat, dude. It's ridiculous. I'm like,
it gets fucking insane, dude. Like on a Sunday night or Sunday, it's just like not. It's like 60 texts back and forth between these 5-10 people.
Yeah, and if you don't look, it's like 80 unread messages. I'm like,
oh, there's been times on Monday morning I've woken up and there's 120 from basically from when I've crashed at like 8 or 9 because I've been out drinking all day to 6 o'clock the next morning. When I wake up, it's like 120 text messages. I'm like, who in the fuck texts this many times? So
it's crazy. I was gonna say too, we gotta hit that draft show too. That's gotta be coming up probably maybe this weekend. We're thinking possibly, right? We're talking about some trade reviews and stuff. I meant trade reviews.
Oh, we do. We got a lot on the agenda. So we definitely got trade reviews coming up. I finished up finally my Scott Fish Bowl draft, so we do want to talk about that. I know that annoys the shit out of some people, but fuck it, it's our show. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to show my team. We're gonna walk through not only my team but also the rest of the league. Kind of talk about whose team we feel like is the strongest out of the group. Sure. And then we'll start doing mock drafts. So we're gonna try to do at least one this weekend, if not two. Pre-record two because I know sometimes our schedules get a little wonky. So we'll try to pre-record some of them. So if we can't drop them right away, or at least I can't record right away, we can at least have some backup. But yeah, we've got Scott Fish Bowl. We've got trades, which everybody loves the trades. That usually is one of the bigger ones.
Mocks got to come in. People are going to be
We're
asking.
We're going to do multiple mock drafts kicking off next week for sure, because obviously next week is going to be August. And a lot of people usually draft between the middle and end of August. So we want to make sure people have enough information and intel from us and what our thoughts are. So yeah, they'll be coming up hot and heavy, man. We'll be doing quite a few mock drafts between now and the end of the off season, whatever you're going to call it, in preseason.
Yeah, and shout out to the dude that commented us about the want to know more best ball talk. Tell me what you need to know.
That was great. I think it was Greg.
Oh, was it Greg? Yeah, tell him, dude.
I think it was Gardas.
Dude, whatever you want to talk about, bro. Come on, Greg.
Well, yeah. So he wants theory on best ball, because best ball drafting is much different than if you draft in Dynasty on a set your lineup. Because best ball, it's like the algorithms, it switches, for who gets put in your lineup based on points. What sucks, and we've talked about this before in a couple of podcasts. So for those of you who don't know, kind of the skinny on best ball. So if you Dynasty set your lineup, you have to put the players in a position like you would in normal redraft. In best ball, it takes the best score and it puts in that position. So if you had somebody theoretically on your bench that ended up blowing up and they got 3 touchdowns, but they would have normally been on your bench, the computer automatically puts them in your lineup and you get covered for that point. So you always have the best max possible score for the week. You can't really fuck up. And it's great because then if there's a last minute injury, it'll swap that player out as well, because obviously the player is going to score 0. So the player won't make your lineup.
It's dummy proof. Let's put it that way for the most part.
It's dummy proof and busy proof.
The draft. Mine's the draft, because you got to draft the youth goes, quarterbacks, tight ends.
But even the draft is different, and how you trade is different too, because in best ball, you want to have more bites at the apple. So in best ball, for example, you would trade a big name for maybe 2 or 3 mid-tier guys, because those mid-tier guys could all hit your lineup, and you could have 3 players versus just having a megastar hit your lineup. So there's also different theories of how you draft and how you trade, how you roster construct. All of that is much, is completely different. So that's, we will do an episode on, we talked about this before jumping on. We've got a lot planned, and I keep throwing more on our plates and we keep trying to get more episodes in. But, you know, I want us to break down different league formats. You know, Campus Canton is one that I want us to discuss in length. You know, previously we talked about, you know, we had the salary cap league that we, you know, spent a good hour and a half talking about. I had guys on there. We'll talk about best ball, you know, and how they're different than each other and what makes one good or bad. We even talk about guillotine leagues, you know, which is one thing that I've joined over the past couple of years.
I've been in that. Those are fun.
You know, yeah, guillotine leagues have become more popular, but different because there's 18 teams in there, and last player gets knocked out. So yeah, we'll do like an episode, you know, and even the short little episodes, kind of talking about like different, you know, formats, and some are even honestly doing redraft formats differently too. One of the leagues that actually Greg had got me into, Greg Adas got me into, is basically it's a redraft, but it's a 50-50. So like the top, you know, it's 12 teams, the top 6, instead of making the playoffs, you get double the money. So you put in $10, you either win 20 or you lose your $10, you know, and it's like 6 people win $20, 6 people get $0, you know. So there's different ways of doing it, you know, where it's like, I was thinking about doing that for like a mega, you know, amount, like maybe it's a $200 or $300 league where either, you know, win $300 or you lose your $300, you know. So there's different cool formats that people are coming up with that I think are worth discussing that not a lot of fantasy podcasts do. And I think for some people that, you know, like best ball, that don't want to spend every waking minute looking at every little detail of news, it makes it easy because you draft people, you put them on your team, and then it kind of does the rest from there. So, yeah, so we'll start talking a little bit more about that.
That's cool.
And yeah, Pat saw how much of a geek I am with my Campus Canton league, and I think he kind of shit himself. But
way too much, bro. Drafting kids out of like high school, then you got defense. That there's like an endless roster. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Oh,
we're talking about it, and you can just like, we'll see
listen.
How it goes. You'll listen.
I can listen to that one because not my steez on that one. So
yeah. Well, you can ask questions. You can just ask questions
for sure.
That's what we'll do.
I'll be like, this is nuts. Besides, are you mentally insane or not? I mean, but we go there.
That's possible. That's a possibility. That's a yes.
And shout out to Dan Marino, bro, our league and sleepers, man, for when we go out there. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be a blast.
Oh yeah, but talk about it again. Night. Like, kind of give more kind of background behind that, because I know it's one of the bullets that's at the bottom. But let's talk about it now since you just brought it up.
So during the Fantasy Football Expo, Matt and I joined. It's like a draft night out there, and there's a bunch of different leagues. And we just happened to click Dan Marino, and
you do a live draft.
Yep, live draft at a bar and
with a board. Right? Yeah, with the board, you slap your name on the board. You obviously have Sleeper, so it's done through Sleeper. So you pick on Sleeper, then you walk up and slap the guy's name on there, and people can either talk shit about it or, you know, oh wow or whatever. I've done a couple of live drafts that way, and it's super fun, man.
It's a blast.
That's actually how we started the Scott Fishbowl. Was we did the first 10 rounds and live draft. But yeah, it's a blast, dude. I mean, it's like, you know, you're all in the bar having fun, kicking it back. Yeah, so it'll be fun. So shout out to the Dan Marino League. I think we're halfway full or 8 people in now.
I think we're 8 or 9 in, so we're almost complete. So it'll be good. Yeah, man. So that's pretty much no crazy news, bro. As the train camp comes, sad to say, we're gonna be hearing injuries more or less sooner than later. So I'll be posting them on. Also, our Instagram is now officially live, just so everyone knows. I completed it. We're starting little by little.
What is
follow us at Elite Fantasy Nation. Simple. That's it.
Yep.
We're on
look
there,
it up.
So at it.
Yeah,
I'll keep
look at
up
follow
more news, updates, everything.
He's dropping things. So we've got a decent amount of followers already, I think. I think I saw we had like 63 followers currently is what I think I saw at one point.
We're going to keep on going. Don't worry about it. So we're on all formats pretty much yet. So just another
yeah, I got to Pat, man. I got to applaud Pat because he's taken on the reins of being the social media, you know, kind of handle and taking care of that. So not only through Twitter, but also doing the Instagram. So he credited it. He's kind of posting on it. So he's been jamming, man. He's been liking it for somebody who doesn't really delve too much into computer world and stuff like that. So it's been awesome. He's been writing the show sheets. Yeah,
I'm trying, man.
I like it, man. I like it. Whole new side, man. Love it.
I told you.
We got 32 followers. We got 32 followers on Instagram.
That's all right.
So,
it's good. Little by little, bro. Keep on going. So
hell yeah.
Shout out to everyone that's following us and to whoever else is, bro. You'll be elite eventually. That's why you're here. So keep staying with us. You'll see why. So on with the show. Let's go, Matt. NFC time. This time we did AFC last time.
AFC last week. Yep.
Let's go to the NFC side. Matt, top contenders. Who are you picking this year for your NFC? Will the Bears make your list? of the contenders.
No, they will not. Okay. So we're doing top three. Is that where we're at again?
Yeah, we'll do top three. Top three contenders.
Okay. NFC South. I don't see anybody coming out of the NFC South that's a true contender. If you're saying top three, you got to put, like when we started AFC, obviously Kansas City was top. You got to put San Francisco 49ers on the top.
Yes.
As number one. They're definitely the
NFC West, correct. Yep.
NFC West, just in general, the NFC, I believe I and a lot of people, it's not just me, feel like they're the 1-1, best chances. They've been I was listening to a podcast actually earlier this morning or afternoon. They've been in 5 out of the last 6 NFC championship games. And the one year that they missed, I forget why they missed, but it was just like an off year for them. So they've been dominant, just as dominant as Kansas City. They just haven't won nothing yet, So aging roster. It'll be interesting. We'll get to your thought too, Pat, here in a second. If you want to interject. I think Debo, if Debo leaves, if Aiyuk leaves, I think that could change quite a bit. They're not going to fall out of the top 2, but is there somebody who could sneak up ahead of them? I think it would change their chances of winning the whole thing. Just because they've relied on that core for so much, but definitely, San Francisco's at the top. Can't, no doubt there. I'll say, there's Philadelphia Eagles and, I'd probably say Detroit, are probably 2 and 3.
Okay.
I honestly could see Detroit taking a little bit more of a step. I know they're close this year, I could see them maybe finishing it this year and maybe getting into getting to the Super Bowl, hopefully, for Detroit. And then Eagles, you can't really go wrong with. Both of those teams really haven't made massive changes, in the offseason. I mean, obviously they have draft picks that they got, but nothing that's majorly, game-changing for them. So I kind of see the top 3 as what they've always been. Although I do see, unlike the AFC, I actually feel like this could be a division that anything can happen, anything can shape out. Like I said, San Francisco, they lose Aiyuk. Do they fall and also they don't even make the divisional round or something? They have a bad game and they get knocked out early. You could see you could see Dallas. Maybe this is their year and they make a run in their AFC or in the NFC Championship game
in the wild card game.
The big 2 that are kind of the biggest kind of unknowns for me are the Green Bay Packers.
Love it. It's one of mine.
Because who knows what they could be. I mean, Jordan Love was looking hot towards the end of the year. Did not look great at the beginning of the year. Obviously, it was his quote-unquote rookie year, even though it was his third year in that particular, on that team, in general, in the NFL, third year. But he looked really rough the first 5 or 6 games. Last 7 or 8 games, he looked amazing. The numbers are actually kind of crazy how much he flipped that. So I could see that as kind of an unknown. And also the LA Rams. I mean, they're always the team that they're always close. That's majorly, obviously Stafford's getting old. There's a lot of things that are going on there.
Puka.
And Puka, you got Puka, he's for real. So I can see him, surprisingly. I can see them as the number 5.
That running back.
Out of the top 3 that were the top 3 last year, I could see the Green Bay, which just sucks to say because as a Bears fan, I fucking hate them. We've said that numerous times, but I've got a lot of friends who love them. They would be ecstatic if they went to the NFC Championship game. But yeah, I could see Green Bay making a push and potentially taking that next step. The defense is going to be elite. The question is going to be, is Jordan Love the next guy? Is he really that good? Because that could take it. So that's mine.
So, all right. So is Green Bay your dark horse, you would say, in that?
Yeah, they're dark horse slash 4. They're the which isn't super dark, it's not hey, they're 6 or 7. They're kind of way down there. That could also pop up to the top. But they're a team that I think that not a lot of people really do talk about outside of the Green Bay area or outside of NFC North, probably as much as what they probably should and where they could be at the end. It's kind of how I look at it.
Okay. That's cool.
What do you got, man?
Oh, man. I'm going to go on Eagles, bro. Look great.
Eagles number 1?
I think Saquon added makes it super, super tight, man. With health, if they can stay healthy, man, that team is going to be ridiculous, man.
So you're talking Eagles 1?
Yeah, Eagles 1, and the NFC East is theirs, period, because that's just a no-brainer. Lions, I'm going to go with for sure. I think they're going to be my 2. I think they're going to outperform from last year, and I'm going to go 3 on the Niners. I don't know, man.
So you got the Niners falling down at 2.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, they still look. My friends are going to kill me and everybody else, but
Oh, you're gonna get a lot of hate, man.
Oh, it's okay. It's a lot of Niner fans. It's cool. The reason why I said this is because, like,
you got to text. How's gonna text you right after this gets dropped?
So are all my other friends. So if Aiyuk leaves, that's a huge loss more than you think, isn't it? Just
it's massive, dude.
Debo, McCaffrey, Kittle. I get it. I mean, and Purdy's still there, but
we got
as many
Parasol. You got Parasol, who they just drafted, who's supposed to be really good.
But he's hurt. I thought he's
hurt.
He's
got hurt. Yeah, he's already on the pup.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Aiyuk is bigger than
but
could be there. Should be there.
Clarity, if you don't mind me, sorry to interject and sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
I just want to be clear. When we do say pup this early in the season, it pretty much could mean nothing. I mean, they could take him off the pup next week. So I just want to caution, like, when we say like he's hurt, like, nobody knows the extent of injuries until we get later on, like farther into training camp. And a lot of times I don't even tell you until we get really into the season. So just I want to be cautious of that as we say that too.
Yeah, so. And then could I say, not like it's gonna be a monster, but dude, I want to see how the Cardinals do this year. I want to see Marvin Harris. They got a great tight end over there. I keep forgetting his freaking name.
No, it's funny that you say that because they were 4-13 last year, but that was also with Kyler not really playing that much.
Yeah.
Got Marvin Harrison Jr., the number one wide receiver. Yeah, dude. I actually, if I were to say a true dark horse, that I would agree is like a true dark horse. Like,
yeah, for sure. That's my pick on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was like, I don't know if Green Bay really would constitute a dark horse because I look at them as the number 4, if at worst, the number 5 team in this division or in this conference. But like the massive dark horse to me is the Cardinals because they could come out, and again, they're talented. It's nobody's like would be surprised, but I don't think anybody would project them in the top 3 currently. So. As I'm I'm looking at 2024 win totals. Vegas has them 7.5, which is the same as the New Orleans Saints. So that kind of and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it kind of shows you like how people evaluate them. Same as the Seattle Seahawks at 7.5 or 7.5 wins. Same as Minnesota Vikings. So that's a dark horse in my opinion. Is all that I'm saying.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, and that's good. So who's overrated, Matt, in the NFC this year? Who looks blown out of proportion?
Overrated. I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, I could even go Green Bay. It's like one of those things where like Green Bay could fall on their face after one year. I would say Green Bay. Minnesota's kind of fallen off because obviously they're going to the rookie quarterback. They don't have Chains, Cousins anymore. So I don't either say Green Bay or Dallas, but usually people don't expect shit from Dallas anyways because they always fall on their face. So if I had to pick one overrated team and just lock it in and put my money, like push my chips in, it'd be Green Bay.
Yeah. I'm going to go Dallas. I think it's overrated, dude. Yeah, man, it's the same story, same storyline. No one's getting paid. It's an unhappy team.
They haven't added anybody this offseason.
Yeah, like
Zeke's back. Welcome back, Zeke. But like, what is that going to do?
Yeah, too little, too late. I think it's just overrated, like usual. So Cowboys, sorry, dudes, but that's my overrated one. Kind of how we've been touching on us, Matt. Who's trending up right now? I think we kind of touched on it, and who's trending down?
Yeah, I mean, and this is going to be a homer pick. The Chicago Bears is one of the big teams that I see as like trending up. I think. They're going to be the team like what Detroit was 2 years ago, where like people are like, whoa, like they've arrived. Like they're a year earlier, potentially in my head. This is kind of how I see it. They're a year earlier than what people expect. Obviously, you got Caleb Williams as a rookie quarterback, so that's going to be kind of the unknown. They've got Roma Dunze, who was a number 9 overall pick. Brought in DeAndre Swift, traded for Keenan Allen, Montez Sweat in the middle of last year. I mean, they've got playmakers. They got Kevin Byard, who is an amazing DB. That they added. So the main questions there is going to be the offensive defensive line. I think if they could figure out a way to hold those 2 lines up, the trenches, which are the most important part of the whole entire football team, if they could figure that out and make sure that they solidify that, this team I think could be a surprisingly good team. Last year with Justin Fields, they were 7-10. They lost easily 3 games that they should have won. Not even could have won, that they were actually projected in the fourth quarter as winning, and they lost all of them. They were 90% projectile wins. For 3 games, and they lost all 3. So it could have easily been 10-7 last year, and they were 7-10.
Gotcha.
They started out last year as 0-4. So I kind of put that in perspective. They were 0-4, talking about the coach being fired, talking about all this shit. They finished the season 7-6, and when they could have finished the season 10-3. So I mean, that's insane. I think they're on the uptrend. I would say, like you could also say, I said Green Bay Packers before. I'd have to put them in there as well as the uptrend. Going on the downtrend, I would put kind of what you said, San Francisco. We both have talked about it in different ways. If Aiyuk leaves, they're definitely on the downtrend. An aging roster, they're also going to have to soon pay Brock Purdy. Like, that's coming very soon. So once that happens, what is that going to look like as far as the rest of their team, who they can pay? They've had the luxury of having 2 seasons. This is now going on the 3rd season with basically, above average. You could say what you want. He's a game manager or whatever, an above average quarterback that they're paying, a very, very low rookie salary on because he was like Mr. Relevant, so it's like, you've got him. I see Dallas going down trending too. I don't see, they haven't done enough. There's questions on Dak. CD Lamb's not happy about not having a contract. Is Dak going to be there next year? If he's not there, I could see that team doing a kind of a rebuild. So I'd say those two. Anybody on the uptrend? I mean,
well, you said the Bears really are your uptrend.
That's what the Bears. Right? I'm trying to say there's anybody else. In my head, I'm just thinking if there might be anybody else.
I got someone right now. You completely
all right. So why don't you go ahead? I don't want to take them. I don't want to take all the thunder.
No, I'm just telling you. The Commanders, new coach, new quarterback, a lot of youth, new ownership. Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna go Commanders. I think Dan Quinn is a major upgrade. Like
I agree. Big. Yeah, I agree with that.
Jane Daniels taking over. He's a rookie, but let's see what he could do, man. He got some new faces. See what they can change. See if he starts
though. It might be Brissett for the first half of the season,
and that's okay because he's solid. And then let's see what he can kind of put in. So that's my trending up would be the Commanders because they were pretty low already as it is. So let's see where they can head. And trending down is the Vikings, dude. I don't like it at all.
What don't you like about it? Open that up.
I am so not comfortable with anything in the quarterback. I'm not sold on McCarthy. So I trade him in my dynasty. I'm not sold. And Sam Darnold is definitely not selling me anything any better. JJ got paid. Nothing to play for. I mean, he's going to play, granted, but you know what I'm saying? He got his bag.
Yeah.
The hell is he worried about?
Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold, it's like he's gone on 3 different teams. He hasn't proven himself at any of those teams. He's a top draft pick. So the fact that he's going to turn around. Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, drinking and driving. I mean, we already talked about it last week.
Fucking hell, there's dude. A lot. It just is like...
That's what I'm saying. I'm not really impressed with any of this going on. So Vikings are definitely downward spiraling a little bit. Not like full spiral, but they're definitely dropping. No Kirk 100%. Cousins. I mean, that's huge. I mean, dude, all of it just adds up. So Vikings are on their trend down, dude, and I'm going to give the Commanders going up.
Think about this. If Dan Campbell was the coach of the Minnesota Vikings, if you were to have Jordan Addison do the shit that he did, and had, Campbell as a coach, that fucking guy would not
let him
put
get rid of
any of that shit. He would have cut his ass. He would have been, dude, the first speeding ticket, he would have suspended him right off the rip. He would have been like, dude, two game suspension, learn your lesson.
Yes.
They didn't do anything to him, last year because the speeding case was basically dropped or whatever it was. Then this year it's a DUI where he's definitely going to get suspended. That's not a question. That's not going to be in his hands. That's going to be in the league's hand, and they're going to do probably at least 4 games, if not 5, I could see, because second offense, making them look bad. I mean, it's just like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's pathetic. So that's, pretty much that's in a nutshell. All right, Matt, let's do it real quick. Let's go run through these total win totals for this year. We'll start with the NFC East, bro. We'll start with the Eagles. Projected over 10.5 wins. What do you think?
What were they last year?
Last year, they were 11 games. So they're right on the same trend.
Yeah.
They're going to need to do it again.
I mean, like you said, they got Saquon. We both projected them as to be the top 3 within this whole division, NFC conference, I should say. So I can see them doing 11 wins. I think it's not going to be guaranteed.
Yeah.
But if I had to bet one side or another, I would rather bet that they're going to exceed it versus they're going to go under, which means that they're going to, they'll only win 10 games. And I don't see them going 10-7. I think it's too low for them.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, the Cowboys, 10.5 wins again.
Under that motherfucker, dude. Hit the smash the under. Oh, right. Smash the under. Easy. They were 12-5 last year. They're 12-5 last year. And dude, you got to interject too, man. Your thoughts? They're 12-5 last year, but I don't see Dallas. I agree. Like, I just think that this team's starting to fall apart. You got Dak, who's like obviously not happy. He's not getting a contract. You got CD, who's not even at camp. there's a lot of friction there, and I could just see it just being like a huge downward spiral for this team.
I see that, but I'll tell you this: the one thing I'm going to tell you, and it's true, what I'm reading in it, I think they're going to hit the mark, but they're still going to fall fat on their face anyway and not make it because the NFC South gives them super wins. The whole NFC South is trash. You shouldn't lose to any. I don't think you should lose to any of those teams. No freaking way.
Yeah,
NFC South is horrendous, bro. So that's the only reason why I say that. Other than that, they're horrible.
That's fair.
I don't even want to talk about them anymore.
All right, moving on.
The Washington Commanders, 6.5 wins.
I would say I kind of agree with that. I'd say over, man. Like, I think, it's either 4-13 last year. I could see them squeaking out 7 wins, to your point, with who they're going to be going up against. I think, obviously, in the division, they've got the Cowboys, who they're probably going to lose to. Both, they've got the Philadelphia Eagles. That's 0-4 right there. I could see them beating up on the Giants, getting 2 wins there. I could see it'll be close. I could easily see them, not easily. I could see them getting 7 wins, but easily probably being at 6. So again, I think the win total is pretty much where I would have put it if I would have made a bet or made
I'm with it on that, dude. I'm with it. Next up, the Giants. They were 6-11 last year. They're only projected 6.5 over under.
Under. Okay. I see this train. They lost Saquon Barkley. I could see this train starting to kind of come off the track. They've already come off the track at 6-11 last year. Under. Keep it what it is.
They had a video because train camp's right over here and it's been trending over by us. He does a basic little screen pass to the running back. He fucking overthrows this 7 to 8 yards over his head.
Danny Dimes?
Who are you throwing to, man?
Fucking cheerleader. The cheerleader over there. He's throwing it to the cheerleader, bro.
Dude, he was throwing it to I don't know, John Mara, because it wasn't anyone on the field, because he was literally just throwing it to somebody else. So I'm like, okay, that just shows me how that's gonna go. So
under. So we're saying under. We're saying under.
Way under on that. That's for sure, man. And the Eagles definitely take it. We know that. So I'll let you go with this. The big bad Bears, bro. 8.5 they're projecting over under. Last year was 7-10. Do you think you can crack the extra 1.5 this year to crack over it?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go 9. I could see them going, 9-8. 9 games. I think that's easily in the cards. Especially consider that they have got one of the schedule is one of the lowest. I think bottom 3 in schedule. So they should be able to come off. The hardest part about their schedule is they don't start playing people in their conference in the NFC North until literally the back half of the year. And then they I think it goes Green Bay, then it goes to Vikings, then it goes back to and again, this is just off memory, so it may not be right, but it's Green Bay, Vikings, then back to Green Bay, then Detroit, then they play one other team, then they go back to the Vikings, and they play Detroit again. It's basically the last 6 games. It's basically, or last 8 games, I think they play those 6 division games within the last 8 games of the season. So it's going to be murderer's row at the end. But I can see them.
You're going over.
Yep.
Okay, cool. The downward spiral.
What do you got?
I'm going to go. Oh, for your team?
Yeah. You can be honest. I mean, you don't need to. That's not homerism either. I'm just talking about what they got on the team.
I don't think they hit 9. I think they hit 8. That's my opinion. Okay. I can see 8 with their schedule, and especially with the Lions. Solid team, dude, and as they're trending up. And
bro, they almost beat the Lions. That was one of the games that they blew up last year. So they beat the Lions.
Yes, I remember that.
Detroit. They beat the Lions at Detroit. They were beating the Lions by 2 scores in the 4th quarter at Chicago and gave that game away. So they could have basically swept the Lions last year. They're just throwing it out there.
I can see that. So, yeah, but I don't know, man. I think they're stronger. I do think they're stronger. And
yeah, we'll see.
And I think he'll split with the Green Bay. You'll get one, maybe lose one.
We've talked about this, dude. That. We've talked about this. The NFC North is going to be the most black and blue division in the whole entire NFC. I mean, it's they're just going to all 4 teams. And I know you're talking about the Vikings are downtrending, but all 4 teams honestly have the chance to not only make the playoffs, in my opinion, but also could have a run in the playoffs. So that's kind of how I see it. And they're all going to be beating the shit out of each other. So it's going to be. It's going to be brutal, dude. So,
all right, here we go. Talk about the Lions. 10.5. Last year, 12-5. You think they're under 10? No freaking way.
No, 7.5. 7.5. You said 10.5. Under 7.5.
It says the.
You jumped to the Lions. I thought you said the Vikings. You skipped the Vikings, dude.
The Vikings are the last ones on my list. I didn't even go on. I didn't even touch that. I wanted to go to a better team. I was like, let me go.
I was going off another list. I was going off another list.
No. So it's all right. No, so
Detroit over. Detroit over. My bad.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's solid. And I think they take the division.
We can just speed roll that one. Yep.
All right, so Minnesota 7.5. I'm going under for sure.
Under. Yeah, they're 7-10 last year. That was with Cousins, but that was obviously a lot of injuries that they dealt with. Cousins tearing his Achilles. Yes. You had obviously JJ in and out of the lineup with an injury as well, and then he I think shut it down towards the last 3 games because they knew Cousins obviously was going to come back and they couldn't make the playoffs. So under there, rookie quarterback. If it's not him, it's gonna be Sam Darnold. Blat. Let's go.
No good. Here you go. Packers 9.5.
Oh, pains me. Over.
Yeah, I agree with you on this. Definitely.
I could see them honestly being 11 and 6. I could see them being 11-6.
So it's really gonna be Detroit and the Packers if the way we project it for their you know what I mean? So
if I were to put an order to it, I would do Detroit, Packers, Bears, Vikings. If I put I think it's gonna end.
Fair. I like it. NFC West, the Niners, 11.5. Over.
I mean, that's a high number. That's a fucking high number. I would honestly
you gotta win 12. They were 12-5 last year. Just to know that was last year's total.
That's a good call. But I would have to look at who they're playing this year and have the full schedule in front of me. 12 is tight. That's yeah, fuck it. Over. I'm just conviction. We said they're the top team, or I said they're the top team in this NFC. So they got to be over.
I'm gonna get their schedule right now. We're gonna go right to it. Printable schedule. Let me see it. Here we go.
All right. So, and we'll get it. We'll do as we're doing their schedule. Let's talk about win or loss as we're doing it, and I'll count up.
Okay, sure. Only. All right. Okay, of course it fucking blanks out on me. I'm like, here we go. All right, Ticketmaster. Thanks for slowing me down.
You get this on ESPN. Dude.
All right,
just look it up on ESPN.
Yeah, I hit it. So Jets
win.
First game of the year.
Fucking, they're gonna smoke the shit. I mean, granted, you've got obviously Aaron Rodgers. Is it at New York or is it at San Fran?
Oh, it's in San Fran.
Win.
Yeah, win. Vikings.
Win.
Rams.
Win, but I think that'll be close. I mean, obviously they're that's in the division, so they'll play them twice, but I'll give them probably a win and a loss for those two to kind of they'll split with the Rams.
Patriots.
Oh, that's a win.
Yeah. Cardinals.
I see that splitting as well. So give them a win to start and a loss on the back end.
Seahawks.
Win.
Chiefs.
Loss.
Cowboys.
Is it at San Fran or is it at Kansas
at San Fran?
Loss. Cowboys win.
Then they got a bye at Buccaneers. Win. You can say that. Yep. Seattle, they should win again.
Win.
At Packers.
Ooh, this would for the Packers. This would be like a hey, we've arrived game. I see the Packers winning. I see that as a loss.
Awesome. Okay. At the Bills following week.
Loss.
And that's a December cold game too. Versus the Bears, they're away. They're home. They're going to be.
I see them as a. I mean, if the Bears again. Same thing with Green Bay. If the Bears would win that game, they're making the playoffs in my opinion. That shows they've arrived. But Rams, I see that in San Francisco's win. Rams, I see loss because I said win before, so it's a loss.
Yeah. At the Dolphins.
Ooh. I have that as a loss. I think that we talked about this before. Dolphins is that's my sneaky horse. I think that team could be fucking insane this year.
Lions.
Win.
Cardinals.
Loss because I gave them the win earlier. So we talked about.
So what do you got? What's your total?
1, 2. Oh, 11. Holy shit.
There you go. So it's an under.
Oh yeah, but I was under. All right. But dude, that shows you how this shows how close, bro. This shows you how close these Vegas odds are. Because I was I'm not sure. 12's a lot. I'd have to look at it and doing the math. 11 is where we came up with, and it's you split it. That's 11.5.
Okay, Rams 8.5 over under.
Under. And the reason why is because I see the Cardinals making the push that you were talking about earlier, and I see them taking a couple of wins away from
them.
They
had 10 wins last year, so they're clearly putting them on more of a downward trend 100%. Also.
Yep,
so,
yep.
I agree with you. I'm going under. Seahawks 7.5.
Under.
Okay, they had 9 and 8 last year. I'm going to go over just to go against you on this. For some reason, I think they can get it at least maybe 8. I'll go with like a solid maybe 8. They could.
It's just like a whole new regime there. You've got Geno Smith and Sam Howell as a backup. What is that going to look like? Again, everybody's getting older. The whole team's getting older. I just see this as like they'll be rebuilding in a year.
I still like JSN. I still like the running.
They've got pieces. They've got pieces, bro. Yeah.
So why not? And then the Cardinals 7.5
over. And
because last year was 4-13, so that's a major
which is
jump,
insane.
You know?
Yeah, no, I think it's a mid jump. And again, I think they take away games from the Rams. I think they split a game with San Francisco. So there's stuff that they didn't do this past year that I think that they definitely will do this year.
They're definitely going to play a spoiler alert for a lot of games. They're going to be fucking people's parlays up in a lot of
they're going to be
tough.
They're going to be a tough matchup for sure.
You heard it here first. All right, the bum ass NFC South.
Yeah, let's run through this quickly.
Saints 7.5.
7.5 for the Saints.
And last year they were 9 and 8, so they have them lower also.
Well, the whole entire division lower, except for the Panthers, really. I have them as under. Fuck it.
Okay. Next, Bucks.
So read it off. Sorry, I jumped ahead of you. Read off with the line.
Buccaneers were 9 and 8 last year, 7.5 this year.
Over.
Okay, I'm with you on that. The Panthers were 2 and 15 last year. This year they're 5.5. They're calling for. What do you have?
Over. I've got them probably 6 or 7 wins. And the reason being is like if you look what they did with the offense, they brought in offensive weapons. They've drafted offensive weapons. They're trying to give him Bryce Young some weapons at the end of the day, right? So it's like I think that they've got more than what they had last year. The question is going to be: is Bryce Young as bad as what he was, or they also built up that offensive line too. So I think they're going to go over. I think 6 is an easy target for them to get to.
Okay. I'm going to go.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm looking at their schedule just briefly so I can kind of cheating a little bit here.
No, it's not cheating. That's more of an educated.
Yeah. So they play the Saints clearly, the Chargers, the Raiders, Bengals, Bears, Falcons, Commanders, Broncos, Saints, Giants, Chiefs, Bucks, Eagles, Cowboys, Cards, Bucks, Falcons. I'm going under.
Under, okay.
Under. I don't think they go.
You don't
over
think they can get 6? You don't think they get 6?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go no.
Well, what I'm reading too, there's a comment on what I'm reading too of some beat writers like looking at their schedule. Where do they find 6 wins? Which is basically what you just said.
Just looking at them like there's no fucking way.
Yeah. All right, Falcons. Let's wrap it up.
Kirko Chains, bro. 9.5.
That's a big jump.
Last year was 7 and 10, man. So you're looking at about 3 wins more. Due to quarterback and with a lot of balls and a lot of talent on the team. I'll go over. I think they hit 10. They'll take the division.
Okay, I'll go over too. Just because I feel like the division's up for the taking, and I think we've already projected the Saints not having a good year. Carolina not having a good year, so that's 4 wins right there that they can get easily. So they just would need 6 more.
Another baseline right there. It's nothing. So
yeah. So yeah,
man, it's not too bad, man. Like I said, so you
brother, I like it.
Falcons, Niners, Bears, Eagles. Who takes the NFC East?
NFC East? Oh, we talked about that. NFC East is going to be the Eagles, man. I think that's a question.
Yeah.
Eagles. So Eagles will be the East. North, you're going to get the Lions. West, 49ers. The South,
who takes it? Who's going to Super Bowl? I'm picking who's taking all of it, NFC. Who's going to the Super Bowl?
So I would say San Francisco in its current state. I think if Aiyuk leaves, I would say the Eagles would be my money.
Okay. Dude, it's Eagles or Cowboys. Oh, horrible. Eagles or the Lions. I think the Lions can do it, though. I genuinely they gave that game away last year, and they
they should have been in the Super Bowl.
That's what I said. They should have been in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So this year, sorry again to James Mack and all the Howell and all those.
He's hating on you. He says San Francisco sucks. In case you guys aren't, you could Twitter him at CityStars136. It is CityStars136. By all means, you could jam his fucking space up and just like blow his shit.
Love it. That's good.
So what else? What else you got, man?
It, man? We're completed, dude. That's it. I'm happy.
Hell yeah, we're halfway through the first week of training camp for teams, dude. So like we said earlier, man, we're well on our way. As I also said earlier, thank you to the 12 people that have hit subscribe since the last episode. It means a lot, can't tell you. And I know Pat's been kind of working the phones to get the 12. I've been working as well.
I'm on a campaign trail. I'm campaigning for us this year. I'm going everywhere. I'm door knocking. I'm kissing babies. Whatever I got to do to get to subscribe.
We're pushing all in. Like our new podcast is going to be as well. So we're pushing all in this year. We are going heavy with a lot of different things. We've got some new content. We've got some new content. Well, all in for the other one. Yeah. But we're going to use that theme here too. Yeah. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. Drop a comment. Anything that you guys want to hear or us talk about. If there's a subject, we had best ball being a conversation, which we're going to do a podcast on that because somebody asked about it. So if there's anything like format wise, like hey, I'm not sure about guillotine leagues. Can you tell me more about that? What does that look like?
A team, a player, anything, whatever you want, throw it our way.
We're for the people.
49ers haters, DM Elite Fantasy Nation. I will be more than welcome to talk to you on there.
Yeah.
Direct message.
Or drop a comment in this feed and he can respond back. So it's either Pat or me that are responding back whenever you guys drop comments. I've let Pat kind of take the reins. I'm trying to, again, he's doing more of the social stuff going forward. So I can do more behind the scenes and editing and kind of building our brand behind the scenes on different things. So
he's the mix master.
We're trying. Roger said at one point, I didn't tell you this, I don't think. He's like, man, you're dragging Elite to like the next level. He's like, you're pulling that thing as far as you can. And I was like, you're damn straight. I told you guys this is what I wanted to do. So we're choo-chooing. We're kind of running uphill. We'll be at the Fantasy Expo in, 2 weeks?
Yeah, man, it's the 24th already today. So yeah.
Goes quick. August 9th I land. No, I actually land the 8th. So yeah, 2 weeks from tomorrow. So a week after you've got the Hall of Fame game, we'll be landing in the Fantasy Expo in Canton, Ohio. Pat's going to be driving, and then he'll be meeting all the crew, the South Harmon crew. So what's up to South Harmon? You'll get to meet Fizzle in person.
I can't wait to take your money too.
Yeah, we'll get to meet all the new content creators that are on South Harmon. We're going to be there as well. Hopefully we'll have our first podcast on South Harmon the first week of August. We just need to finish up a couple of things, thumbnail and some intro stuff that we're working through. But my intent is to get that done this week. And then we will let you guys know when we have our first podcast and when it's dropping on South Harmon. It'll be called, again, All In. It's going to be all in about all different types of fantasy football formats. All in and winning championship and all in and like how do you just fucking push the chips in and take the championship and take the crown. So yeah, that's what we're about. We're growing as much as we can, as quick as we can, and see where we can take it. You got anything else to say?
Hopefully quicker than my beard, so let's go.
Yeah, he's gonna owe a lot of money to his kid, by the way.
Yeah, good. Let's go.
Hell yeah, let's go. Until next time, peace. We're out.